Guys.
So if I may have everybody's attention, please, with all due respect.
Hey, bonjour.
Make your appointments very. Véhicule marqué vert. Voie blindée marquée vert. Choisissez celui que vous aimez. Celui qui vous plaît.
Diallo! Diallo, il va avec moi.
I'm Robert Pulver, and I'm Chief of the Criminal Law and Judicial Advisory Service in DPKO, New York. And I'm co-leading a delegation that's come from not just New York, but Geneva, Dakar, of several UN entities. We have come here to Kidal today to assess the situation. Our particular focus is on the rule of law, to see the functioning of the situation here and the eventual return of police justice and corrections institutions to this area. We met with a number of interlocutors here. First and foremost, we met with our MINUSMA colleagues, both on the police side and within the office.
Est-ce que c'est bon pour la photo ici?
Voilà.
What we found was what is an extremely fragile, delicate situation. Elements of the security services have just deployed recently. The situation of our own MINUSMA colleagues. At the same time, the UN situation itself is very initial in terms of our ability to deploy and effectively even maintain our own presence at this stage.
That's the problem of having two half units.
Yeah, that has to be addressed.
We can just this is for the ambulance.
Ensemble, repos!
Unfortunately, peacekeeping operations are designed and deployed with very few resources to do the basic kind of work that's required in terms of resources, programs, and support. And MINUSMA would be looking for a partnership with other institutions, donors, other service providers to help fill some of this gap. At the same time, the government itself also has the obligation to come in and help fill some of these gaps. It's a delicate situation and it needs action right now. That we will be reporting back to headquarters regarding what we've seen in the conditions. But we also wanted to thank you and all of your personnel for your hard work, your commitment in these very difficult situations here. And your role is vital for the protection of the population here, for the maintenance of peace. Robert Pulver, we would like to thank you very much for receiving us.
Thank you for all the support you're providing.
We met with the local government officials, local gendarmerie and police. And what we found was a situation that is very tense, very fragile. The police thus far are not able to move very much at all without international security support. They're not yet in a position to provide services to the population. And it looks like the resumption of judicial and corrections functions would be far off. What needs to happen is there needs to be a stronger effort by the international community to support the return of services here, basic services to the population, but especially a stronger effort by the Malian government to provide services to the population. Because on one level it is very much about not just returning to the situation that was prior to the conflict, but raising the level of services so people here are not feeling left out or disenfranchised or disadvantaged. And it is through that extra investment here in Kidal that I think there would be a prospect for strong, lasting peace and reconciliation.
Starting soon to be implemented. We also, I know that about the gendarmerie in all the Kidal region.
Donc, sous le filet, nous avons trouvé une population végétale.
We had the opportunity to tour the current facilities of both the police and the gendarmerie. They've been heavily damaged during the conflict. They have substantial needs. Now, MINUSMA is doing what it can with its very small budget for quick impact projects to help with some of those structures, but it really is in many ways just a drop in the bucket. Police noted that some population members are starting to come to them for basic things such as ID cards, but they don't even have the basic forms or apparatus to issue ID cards. And I think that's very much a missed opportunity, that's a service that the police and the government of Mali could be providing to the people here fairly easily as part of what needs to be a very well strategized campaign to win hearts and minds here.
Because right now he's in Bamako, so they took over the place.
We saw what is required here. There's still a lot of resources that are needed to come back. The situation has, by no doubt, improved since the last year. The Malian services are starting to return. However, there's still a lot more to be done. Key right now is to find a political solution by which all parties can come to an agreement on how they will build the state authorities and re-establish what is required here for the population and for the government to ensure that there is trust with the population and that they can begin delivering these basic state functions.
L'objectif de la mission d'aujourd'hui à Kidal était de permettre à la délégation JFP de voir la situation et les défis que nous avons sur le terrain, particulièrement dans le nord et à Kidal. De voir les institutions sécuritaires qui sont présentes à Kidal, ce qu'ils sont capables de faire et surtout en rapport à notre mandat, dans quels moyens nous pouvons les aider et dans quel domaine ce serait le plus utile.
Merci beaucoup, bon travail.
Merci.
Bravo. Merci.